So you guys, welcome to the Well Team training call for tonight. And I want to introduce my friend Ellen Ford, but I want to tell you a little bit of backstory about Ellen and I before we get started with some good questions for her. But so Ellen joined, I think, just a couple weeks before I was under Andrea. Is that correct, Ellen?
Yeah, December 31st of 13.
Yeah. And then I joined just a few weeks later in January. And so I had heard about Ellen. I don't even know if I had officially met Ellen, but Ellen was signing up people. I was trying to get people signed up. Rachel was working with me too. Lindsay Kierker was with me. And we would be like, who is this Ellen Ford girl? Do we like her? How do we feel about her? I'm not real sure. And it was funny because I thought Ellen was going to be kind of straight-laced and proper, and I was wrong in all the best ways. So pretty quickly when Ellen and I got a chance to get to know each other and start working together or start doing some sideline stuff, I grew to like her so much. So here's what I want you to know about Ellen before I start asking her some questions. But Ellen is, she's going to sound like a hard ass tonight. Forgive my French. She has a very, very compassionate heart. She has a lot of emotional wisdom. She's often sitting back and thinking through things in her mind. And I think that's part of what gives her the boldness and the courage to be such an excellent trainer. And y'all, here's how you know that Ellen is an excellent trainer is because she has not only re-entered on her second leg, but she has already gone diamond gold. And Ellen, you're shooting past that too. I mean, she's beyond that now. And I just find a lot of recruitment help from her. So that's what I wanted you guys to pick up on tonight. So Ellen, welcome. I'm going to jump right in with some good questions for you. And I want Ellen to have a license tonight to be real bold and honest with y'all. And I hope you get to take some notes. So first question for you, Ellen, will you describe what a typical day was like for you before you started Plexus?
Sure. Before I started Plexus, I'll give you a little bit of background on me first, but I have been a paralegal for 17 years, both in law firms and in the corporate setting. And my husband is in full-time ministry at our church. He is over the married ministry. And so if you know anything about ministry, you know that is not a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday type job. It is pretty much on call all the time for, whatever's necessary at church, other people's crises that are going on. So we're heavily involved in our church, and we have now 10-year-old twins. At the time, they were, 8.5 or 8. Jake and Emma, who are and were involved in church activities, sports. My daughter's in cheer and gymnastics. My son was in lacrosse and football. So you can imagine it was just the whole gamut of, I work full-time outside the home. My husband is in ministry. We have twins. As a ministry wife, I balance a lot of things. There's plates spinning that no one even knows about or spinning while he is at church and or at work, so to speak. So my typical day was probably, get up, get the kids dressed. My husband and I were like, go, okay, can you take them today? Because I got this, that whole thing. And it was just like rush to work, try to beat my boss because he was one of these people that he was never there on time, but I sure better be. And so it was a very high expectations, very stressful job. And then 5 o'clock hit and I was rushing out there to get kids. I could not wait till I left my job, y'all. I did my job well, but I was not passionate about it. I thought that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to work in the big company and have the big job. And then when I got there, all I wanted to do is stay home. So I would rush out of work, pick my kids up. We had homework practices, pickups, drop-offs, and it was like rush, rush, rush. And then, we had dinner, get kids in bed, then little time with my husband, and then start the day back over again. And it was just something every minute of the day, pretty much. And that was, I mean, like you said, that's before Plexus entered my life.
And so when it did enter your life, how soon did you start working your business?
Well, when I joined Andrea, I said the word never. I said, I won't ever do this. I do not, number one, it's network marketing. So that's just stupid altogether. And number two, I work in one of the largest financial institutions in the world. I'm not doing that. It was kind of like I snubbed her. And I kind of worked the business immediately from day one without really even knowing, because my husband is a huge Dave Ramsey fan. And if you know who Dave Ramsey is, it's so annoying because every dime has a destination, every penny has a purpose. Our spreadsheet was so color coded, and it was just, I'm a free spirit. So, I'm like all about, okay, whatever it is. But signing up for Plexus was not in our budget. We did not talk about it. So I just joined, bought a welcome pack, and I didn't really think much about it, checking with him first. So my first goal when he found out that I did join was to you better make the money up you put into it. So I'm like, okay, $130. I don't know how to do that, but let me I guess I'll tell somebody about it. So, I was definitely not one to share on Facebook. I was not going to do that. But after a couple of days on the products, my husband was the one that said, you should put something on Facebook about me being your Plexus guinea pig. And so I'm like, oh, okay. No expectations at all. So within a few days on the products, I ended up sharing on Facebook. And I put a picture of a guinea pig and put I think a one-liner. Was not thought out. It was just kind of launch something and get it up before work. And I just said, hey, my husband Barry is my Plexus guinea pig, and we'll see how this goes. And I put that post up, and when I got to work that morning, my inbox had flooded with people wanting to know what we were doing, what products I was taking, how to order, what my website was, what I recommended. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But then I was like, my husband wants me to make the money. Yes, I will find my website. I will put whatever you need. I will find the answer to your questions, because this is going to help me make the money back up that my husband told me to make up. So I ended up sharing on Facebook, of all things, right away, and got instant customers pretty much. And I figured out real quickly, the more I shared, the more I told my friends about it. It happened. And I did not feel like I was selling or trying to hustle my friends for it at all. It was just, it came naturally. Because number one, that was my first goal, was to make up the money. And then I was a Facebook queen. My husband used to tell me, girl, if you could get paid for Facebooking, we would be rich. And I always took great offense to that. But then, that was my first step in really working it.
So you brought up the fact that for you, just posting got you a lot of good responses. So here's what I want to know, because this is what you're so good at, Ford. How do you coach someone who posts and doesn't get responses?
Well, for me, I tried to make my posts a kind of an extension of who I am already before Plexus. I didn't want to go into a mode where it was, I'm posting stuff about my family and what I'm doing and, stuff I love, and then go right into all this salesy, please join my team, look at all these statistics of people losing weight. I didn't really want to go into that. I wanted it to kind of be an extension of me and keep it very personal. And I went into this going, I'm all in. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going all in. So I really didn't think about people not getting back to me. And I'm kind of one of those people, like, I know they're creeping on my post, because I kind of came out of the blue with Plexus. And so I knew people were watching, and just like with anything, I kept doing it. And I did not just post on Facebook. You will get some customers. You may get some people join your team from just posting, but you got to ask people to join your team. You got to reach out to people. And I used the posting in connection with, and in addition to, reaching out to my friends, because guys, Facebook and social media, I know people message on Instagram, but Facebook is an unlimited phone book. I don't know a lot of you on this call. I don't know how to get in touch with you, but you know what? I can type in your name on Facebook and I can friend you. I don't even have to friend you. I can get in touch with you. So it was unlimited phone book. I had all my friends' contact information, and probably 95% of my friends were on Facebook and checked their messenger. So that's really I used it in combination with reaching out to people.
Ellen, what would be the top things that you train with on every new ambassador that you sign? Where do you start? What do you get them started on? They're brand new.
If they're brand new, I know y'all probably don't think I'm sensitive, but I am. I'm kind of sensitive to where they are when they join. And I always, when I'm talking, we may talk about this later, but when I talk to someone about being a customer joining, I am always very open-hearted, so to speak, to those who say they don't want to work the business. They only want the discount. They don't want to have to do anything, because I said the same thing. I swore it off, said, I'm not doing this. I don't have time. I've got all this other stuff going on. And then, you know what, if it's going to be this easy to make money, I'll do it. I do not want to be at my job. I want to be home. So I really talk to them about, okay, what are you looking to do? And, if they're like, I only want the discount, then I'm going to go, okay, well, if you are interested in working the business, I have a ton of information for you. I don't want to give it all to you right now because it's a whirlwind, but I want to kind of give it to you as you feel necessary, so that I'm not going, hey girl, you just joined. Let me get you on a team call. Let me blow you up with the 12 things you need to do to, let's get your first post. I am very sensitive to what they want to do. Now I'm definitely going to go, okay, do you want to make up the cost of your products? I'll ask them that right away. And so if they say, yeah, girl, I want to do that, but I don't want to do the business. I'm like, all right, find 3 people that love you, probably family, close friends, coworkers, and go to ask them to help, to come try these products with you. Because when you say that kind of stuff, it doesn't seem like you're selling your friends. You're like, girl, I just joined Plexus. Who knows if this stuff even works? But come do it with me. Let's do it together. If it doesn't work, we'll check that box and move on. But I really feel them out. And if they want to, a lot of people want to get their products first. And then from then, if they start loving it, then I'm going to go, hey girl, I just added you to a contest page that I'm doing. You can just check it out and be a fly on the wall. If they say, okay, well, I just told my friend about it, and I think they might want to order Slim. It's kind of like baby steps, but I want to feel out where they are, and not kind of turn them off with, hey, you need to work this right now and you need to get started. Because it will fall into place if we're asking the right questions and we're following up with them. I never want to be that person, and I'm sure I've been that person in the past, when someone joins and then you're like, check, got them joined, and then you don't go back to them and check on them because they may just have signed up for wholesale. They do not want to do anything. But if you don't check back in with them, they're still on your team. They're still a wholesale customer. They may turn into something, but you still need to kind of work that relationship and not just kind of like, hey, I got her on my team, check, and go on to the next person. So I just really kind of fill them out.
I like that. Okay, so in light of that, tell me a mistake that you made at one point in Plexus that you wish you could go back and do over, or maybe what you learned from an early failure.
That's a great question. Oh, I'm sure I have a bazillion of them. I got to just pick one. um, there's always things that I think about, and probably the ones that I know I've made a bunch of times is probably just in the way I have reached out to people and not been as sincere as I really needed to be. Because I can be very overly informal because that's kind of my nature. And most people would think I'm very formal because my husband is a pastor on staff. And it's totally the opposite. When people find out I'm pastor's wife or ministry wife, they're like, oh, okay, crazy. But maybe like some of my approaches, I think I would go, man, I should have said less. If I could just learn to say less, and I just wish I could reel back in some of the things, because when someone asks us a question sometimes about Plexus, we want to just blow up and just, we'll send a response. We're like, oh, I should have said that. We'll send another one. And then there's like 10 little blue boxes, when you're messaging, and then you're like, oh gosh, why did I just not answer the question and let it sit? And so probably just impatience and just how I message people. So I'm trying to, take hold of that and just be conscious of that now.
I love that. I would definitely agree with that and say I have a lot of the same thing. Okay, so going back to, you're doing Plexus at this point or in the beginning, and you're working. For people who haven't heard your testimony, talk about what your day looked like when you were working, especially at the height of working your full-time job and building a team and growing so quickly with Plexus. What was that like? What did a day look like for you?
Well, for me, I guess I want to start with, I did not feel like I was doing two things at once. And that may not make that much sense. But I felt like I still had the same number of hours in the day. I blended Plexus into what I was already doing. And I thought about it a lot because, guys, when I started, my very first check was $400. And I'm like, whew, this is like real money. This is not like 37 cents, when you do another network marketing thing. This was real money. And then that second month, $800. And I'm like, okay. Third month, $1,500. That's when, the hubbies, they're like, oh, $1,000 just came into our account. When that was happening, I went all in. I'm like, I'm staying home. And I caught that vision early. So I was so determined that I just blended in, and it was part of my day. It wasn't like, oh, I've got to make sure I get on that call. I've got to make sure I reach out to 5 people. Oh, did I do my 3 posts? I was so far into it and beyond that I did not have to I had no reminders. I needed nobody reminding me to do IPA, income producing. I wanted it so bad that it was part of my day. It was like eating breakfast. It was like getting out of bed every morning. It was a part of me. So I would get up in the morning, and then I would make sure, like, the posting is the easiest part. So if I needed to use buffer, or I needed to get up a little earlier or get out of the shower faster, I did that. And on my way to work, I still did the same stuff. We got the kids up, got them fed and out. And my husband was so good about, I tell him, oh, I've got to do a quick photo shoot of products and like for a post. And he's like, all right, I got the kids. I'll take them to the other room. And then I'm like setting stuff up because I got to get this done before I go to work. Or I got to do a quick video. He was like, all right, I got it. And he would work it out. And then on my way to work, I didn't have a big commute, but I would listen. I just said, I'm listening to something, Plexus or leadership, on my way. Most time I just cranked the radio and went to work, but every single day on the way to work, I would listen to somebody. If it was a leader in our company, if it was a leader within network marketing, John Maxwell, just everything. And then when I got to work, I had to engage and be at work. And so I would do that. And, on my breaks, or if I was in between projects, I would message people. And guys, every single day I had a notepad at my desk, and it was my Plexus notepad. And as through the day, I would just write people's names down. And I'm like, oh, she'd totally tell me no. I journal. It's kind of like I journaled all the people I wanted to reach out to. And every day, as a part of my job, I reached out to people. It was, okay, turn my computer on, log on. All right, I got to send 5 quick messages before my boss gets here. And I would do that, and then I would work. And then on my lunch hours, a lot of times when people were going to lunch, I went and sat in my car and ate my lunch in my car in the parking garage, because I was like, all right, I got to get back to this person. I got to call her. I got to make sure and send her the ingredients. Okay, let me listen to that one part where someone's explaining. And I was constantly craving the knowledge to learn more. But I would do lunch hours. And then, guys, I would even use our lactation room on our floor. I was not a nursing mom, but and people had to make reservations to go in there to pump. And I would, like, if that door was open, I was shooting in there, locking it, and I was like calling people. And, people be like knocking on the door, listening. And I'm like, just a moment. And so I used every free moment that I had. I just was very conscious about not wasting it. And, I still did, mom duties in the afternoon. So from like 5 till 9, I would, take the kids to practices and do all that kind of stuff. My husband and I would do dinner. And then from 9 to 11, even 9 to midnight, I focused on Plexus, and I did the things that I knew would build my team and grow my business. And one thing to say about that before, it's probably early on in Plexus, I still would, because a lot of times we sit and watch TV. My husband and I would watch, we look back, we're like, we're watching like 3 hours of TV at night. And I would have my phone scrolling, acting like I'm working, scrolling, maybe post here, comment there, like, oh, I worked. And I got really, really convicted about watching TV. And I was The Voice, what's the other one? American Idol, all that. You get nothing out of that other than maybe a couple of chills when somebody sings a good song. But I was watching TV, but I was wanting my Plexus business to grow. I was wanting to rank up faster than I already was. And one night I was sitting there and I was thinking, man, I know I should be doing some like action items. And it was kind of like God was standing there watching us watch TV going, I'm waiting over here to bless you. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting on you because you want this. You want to stay home, and I want to bless you, but I'm waiting on you to cut some of this stuff out so I can unleash the blessing. And so I just thought, you know what, we're going to turn the TV off, or I won't watch. I'm going to go do my business. And I got back here in this office, and I would just reach out to people, follow up. I was like on a mission. And the very next month after I did that, I made the leaderboard, had the highest PV I've ever had to date. And I signed up 7 level 1 ambassadors that month. So that was like a big, huge thing for me that I was, first of all, I can't be telling my team like, cut out the time wasters and do this when I'm not doing it myself. But then when I did cut out the time wasters and just said, you know what, if I have to stay up late, sometimes y'all would stay up to 1 a.m. That was very, very rare. But usually 9 to 11, 9 to midnight, it was concentrated time on Plexus. And then the next day, it started all over again with, I got to get the kids up, go to work. So I just blended it all in, and I never got tired of it because I knew the more I worked, and it was concentrated. When you are out and about doing whatever you're doing during the day, I could not log on to Facebook we had no Facebook. We had no anything. It was on my phone, but I had to use my time very, very wisely. So that's kind of what I did to just blend it into my life already.
I love it. And you know what, Ellen, what I remember about you during that season, and still, I know it's different now that you don't have to go to another job, but it's just a focus. Like you were focused. And I think that was a huge part of why you were able to just wholeheartedly run. I think you could see that finish line of being able to leave your job and being able to retire and stay home. So let me ask you this then, girl. How do you train people who tell you that they're doing everything, but they're just not having any success? What do you say to people?
Well, I just talked to someone on my team that was sharing the same thing. And I try to just get with them and let's break down every single thing. If you tell me you're doing everything, it's like, what messages are you sending out? Let's talk about how that sounds. Let's look at it. Send it to me. Let's talk about it. And because, we can be reaching out or say we're reaching out, but what we're sending is just not attractive to the reader. And so I kind of start there. A lot of times I go, okay, if you are doing all these things, let's kind of take a week, and every day I will give them kind of some homework. And they're all action items, reaching out to at least 5 people a day, following up, doing 5-3-1. I will have them read 20 minutes in a leadership book, of their choice, and then just get back to me what things they learned. And sometimes people just need a refocus. And a lot of times I think people, it's hard to reach out to people every single day. And people go, oh yeah, I'm reaching out. And I'm like, define reaching out. Reaching out and following up are not really the same thing. And I think a lot of times people want to take the easy way out, and we lie to ourselves, and then we believe that lie because it's like, well, I reached out today, I'm doing everything you said. It's like, no, girl, if you were doing everything I said, you would be adding people to your team. So I think a lot of times people are not really honest with themselves. And I'm big on, man, if you're not doing it, own up to it. Just say, girl, I am not putting in the time and effort I need to. Please help me get back on track. And a lot of times it'll be a breaking down process of, all right, let's break down what you do every day. How much time are you spending on your business every day? What things are you doing? Scrolling Facebook will keep you from ranking up. Scrolling Facebook will keep you from going to for cooking dinner. I mean, literally, y'all, it is the biggest time suck I know is scrolling Facebook. And I will have people go, okay, I want you to set up buffer posts for all day tomorrow. You don't need to even get on. I mean, obviously check your messages in case somebody wants to sign up or something, but you do not need to, because we think, oh, I have to post. So then we don't just post and get back off. We're like, I do it myself. And I can hear God go, hello, you haven't had your quiet time today and you're still scrolling. But I'll say set up buffer posts for your whole day. And then I want you to do these things because that's taken care of. We don't need to spend hours on Facebook to do our post, to make sure we're posting regularly. We can set those up and then get stuff done, like those daily activity sheets that we came up with for this rank up thing, this rank up to, what is it called? Rank up and score. And those are the most simple. They're simple, but yet people don't want to do them. I personally don't love to reach out to brand new people every day, but that is what moves the needle on my business. I don't love following up with people that never got back to me or said no. I don't love that process. Following back up moves the needle forward on my business. So I talk to people and I try to break down what they're doing. Let's find out, what are we really doing? Give them like a 7-day period of, hey, I want you to do these 3 things and get back to me. And let's have some accountability, because a lot of times if people are saying, I'm doing everything you told me to do and it's not working, they probably need a little accountability to go, okay, well, let's see. I want to just hang with you for 7 days and let's kind of see how that is. And then they kind of get back on track. So that's really what I do with people that say, hey, I'm doing everything you said, but it's not working.
I want to know, at what point in your Plexus journey did your income start to blow your mind?
I guess probably within, I don't know. That's a great question. I guess I think the way God works in my life, it's not like, okay, I'm going to open this huge floodgate and you're going to get $40,000 a month. It was just like a step. Here we go. We're taking these little steps forward. But I think when I was making the same amount of money as I was at my job within 5 months of working, doing Plexus, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing, this is so, like, I'm getting paid to have fun. There's a little bit of it that makes me go outside my comfort zone, but this is not real. And, all the stuff that I had to do in my normal job just to get my paycheck, just to work 17 years to get to that salary. And I made that same amount in 5 months. I was kind of like, what? And then when I went Emerald and you see, 5 digits on your paycheck, it's like, no way. This is not real. There's no way this is happening. And you think, people are not going to believe me. There's no way they're going to believe me. And then you kind of like look at the check and you're like, this is like, they're off a number. This cannot be right. So it's kind of like, I guess, twofold. That first time I made the money, the same amount I was making at my job, and then the Emerald check.
I love it. I want to know, how many level ones do you have, first and second position on average? And then how do you keep adding new level ones?
Well, on my first position, I think I have 150 level ones. And on my second position, maybe 30. I have not counted recently. But I guess, I'm a big advocate on presenting. I present the opportunity every single time I talk to someone. It is an option. It may not be the option they want, but they're still going to get it as an option, because I'm my own example. If Andrea had just given me the option to sign up as a customer, and I did, my entire life may be totally different from what it was now. Because she introduced both to me. She did not push both on me. It was an option. She goes, hey, cheapest way to do it is to sign up. I don't even think she was so brand new. She didn't even know what she was telling me. And I'm like, you're my friend. I'll do it. But, so I present it every single time and I let them mull it over. And then I tell them, well, I signed for the discount too. That's kind of how I got into this. And that goes a long way. But, a lot of people get scared about doing that, but I always present it every single time I talk to somebody.
And then what are 3 things that you're doing daily? You can think of 3 things that you do every day that are part of how you run your business, whether it's 531 or something else, even reports you run or how you check on people. What are 3 things you think that you do every day with your biz?
Every day and it's not every day, it's my plan to do it every day. There are days when you have children, your day could just take crazy turns. But that daily activity sheet, or AKA 531, I try to do that every day. And it's not, I love the ambassador who, if you say, I need you to do 531, that's going to help your business. And if they just only do 5 and only do 3 and only do 1, they are operating inside a box of, this is my box and I'm staying here. I'm not going outside. And when you don't go outside, you don't go up. So I love the fact that, for me, I'm like, I'm going to reach out to, I got 30 minutes. I'm going to reach out to as many people as I can in 30 minutes. Then I'm going to follow up with as many people as I can. And if I have an hour, 30 minutes. And then I try to reach out to my level 1 runners every day, just even if it's non-plexus, just touching base, letting them know I'm there. I also try to do every single day a post on my team page, whether that be encouragement post, a business post, a reminder, a contest, something like that. I want to make sure that page is that people are, there's still a touch going out, that they can kind of go, okay, we're still there. Because if you're a leader and you have people on your team and there's not some kind of daily or regular interaction, they're going to fall off because there's not a connection there. So I want to have something that they can connect to, or go, oh yeah, I need to check that. Or, oh, I didn't know that product, we could order that, or the shareables were available. Then also I have a coaching page as well, and I will probably hammer down on them with a post or two, or do a contest or whatever. So I check in with kind of all my peeps, and then I make sure that I'm doing action items for my own personal business. Because the further you get into Plexus, the more it's two-pronged, or you have your own personal business and then you have your team and the people that you're pouring into, and you have to learn to balance that and always work your own personal business.
I love it. All right, girl. That was some good nuggets right there. And I even took some notes. So I hope you guys took notes as well. Any questions for Ellen before we let her go? I know she's been at a football game for, was it a game or practice?
It was a football practice with a cheer practice. And then the cheerleaders, I was somehow got to be the coordinator of bringing the cheerleaders to the football, and they were exchanging. It was just, anyway.
Ellen's got some twins that keep her real busy. Okay, any questions before I let her go? And if you think of them later, you can always ask me on the team page, and I'll make sure to get an answer from her. But Ford, thank you so much. Y'all, Ford is one of my favorite sidelines. She's been a big part, a huge support to me. And I know Rachel would say the same thing over the past couple of years. So I love you, girl. Thank you for being on this.
Love you.
With us. And y'all, thank you guys for joining us too. Y'all have a good night. And I will post this recording on our team page later. Thanks, guys.